deliveries from Captain Pollard. Simmons tried to anchor the inning, and it was Carrie Pierre, beg your pardon, who had the responsibility in the end to get them over the line with one ball to spare. A really superb effort, and certainly the match of the Hero CPL 2020. This contest promises much then. On the back of that, the batsmen will have seen what transpired earlier, and hopefully it inspires them to play much better. Kieran Pollard, that 6 hitting ability with ease, consummate ease, just that ability to power the ball over the boundary, even with one hand, miss hits, two end of the bat, you name it, still goes the distance. And was it not for that brilliance from Jason Holder to get him run out, he would have been not out at the end. So it's a battle here, Bish, of teams that haven't batted well. Batsmen in particular at the top of the order who have not yet found their footing. Do you think today might be the day that changes for these two teams?
I hope it is, because they've looked and they've seen the strategy of the teams that have come before them earlier today. Now you've still got to play according to the quality of the resources that you have, with a change at the top of the order, I think, in Kruma Bonner opening the batting instead of Chadwick. Walton alongside Glenn Phillips. Today's match partner in a Patriots home encounter, sad sport. And I think generally it has been for me a disappointment in the lack of, not necessarily application, but adjusting to conditions for Phillips and for Brathwaite and for Powell and for Walton in this Tallawahs lineup. Bonner, with all his experience, got into the West Indies touring squad to the UK this summer, got into their T20 squad 9 years ago in 2011. September 2011, he toured the UK with the T20 squad.
Jon-Russ Jaggesar, given a responsibility with the new ball, didn't start the tournament with the St. Kitts and Nevis Patriots, came in after a game or two, but has been really impressive since then with his variations and his ability to bowl that carambol to good lengths. So it has been a good find for the Patriots. They've included Sodhi based on the conditions on offer here. So they have 3 spinners in their ranks. In that last game, Ben Dunk was called upon to try to fill that void. But with Sodhi, Imran Khan, Jon-Russ Jaggesar, they might just have the resources. First ball.
And the zingers are fizzing. Gone for half a dozen, and the Patriots are now 97 for 9 here. Last man in, Jon-Russ Jaggesar is out there now with Imran Khan. And there's 4 deliveries to go here in the 18th. Glenn Phillips. Hello, what's going on there? You're not ready? Well, you've got to let us know earlier than that, champ. What's going on? You can't do that.
Just having a sighter. This is a strategy. Have a sighter.
Interesting. he's underway straight away. Oh, Lammers going, what are you doing? Najib a bit excited.
Googly once again on the stumps. Magnificent. We've seen that so many times. Imran Tahir, Sandeep Lamichhane.
Oh, wow. That's a
continuing to get wickets with that particular delivery. Interesting to see the strike rate in terms of wickets taken from Googlies in this tournament.
All the 9s on the board.
Oh, yeah.
That's that one he just gives a little bit more air to, and he just loops it a little. Fizz off the surface when it pitches. 99 for 9.
Ball.
Solid as a rock. Jaggers.
Ah, Sandeep, so fast.
99 for 9.